This episode is sponsored by tornsports.com, and I've got a lovely pair of sliders here, every footballer's dream. What else do they do, Lou?
They do grip socks, all heights. So,
nice.
they've got the ankle ones. And they actually do, I don't know, the footballers' trend these days is where they have the little cut in the back of their match day socks.
Yeah.
So they do them as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they do plenty of different socks and obviously sliders. So.
That's sick. Yeah, these sliders are very nice. If you want to grab yourself anything, head over to tornsports.com and get yourself something nice.
Welcome back to Ball Talk with me, Lewis Bryon, and as always, I'm joined by St Albans striker Ken Charles and presenter Noah Jones. Boys, this episode we'll be discussing Arsenal's win over Wolves, very controversial red card, and of course the weekend's Premier League action. Okay, so let's get into Arsenal. What did you make of the game?
It's one of them, innit? Wolves seem like a tough team to beat, even though they're not doing great in the league. We seem to always struggle a little bit when we come up against them, and if we put the obvious controversial decision to the side for a minute, we just can't put away chances at the minute, man. I hate to single out players, but Havertz is struggling in confidence, isn't he?
Yeah, what was it? It was like 3 headers.
Yeah.
At least one of them should have gone in.
Just I still really like him. That like what he does for the team, he works so hard. But if you're fighting for a title, you need your striker to bag some goals.
Yeah, for sure. Ken, what did you make of it?
We can obviously speak about the red card, which I'm sure we'll get
Yeah.
on. But, I mean, without that, I reckon we would have scored earlier. But the red card happened and we still had the chances to get the goal earlier in that game and put ourselves in a position where we could be a lot more comfortable. And it didn't come. Obviously, I remember Havertz had a few decent chances. One was a good save from the keeper. But a couple of the other things didn't hit the target. Should have done better. Did we have anything else?
I don't know, but do you think with Havertz, right, is it just obviously he is missing too many chances now, but it's now like the spotlight's on him, so you're just noticing it more? Is that it? Or is he just missing too many chances?
I think you could ignore it if he put away one every 2 games.
Yeah. Does he not do that though?
Well, that's the problem. If you look at Haaland misses a lot of chances.
He does, doesn't he?
But he scores a lot of goals. So you don't think about the misses.
Yeah.
If Havertz had missed 2 of them, where you're like, he should have scored, but then scored one of them, one of the 3.
Yeah.
We're not here talking about the misses.
No one even remembers.
Scores, yeah.
Especially if you win the game.
Yeah. So I think it's obviously, yes, he's missing chances, but I don't think he's scoring enough to compensate for those misses that everyone remembers. Plus the fact that we're not actually just winning every single week. The spotlight is naturally going to be a lot more on him.
I think the issue is when Saka's there, even if Havertz isn't playing well, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because Saka will win you the game. Now Saka's not there, and they might not be the best wingers in the world, Martinelli and Trossard. You really notice your striker not scoring goals.
Yeah.
It's rough. It's rough.
He's not. He can't do it on his own. Like he's not like a Haaland where he's a sole creator.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get on to the red card then. Miles Lewis-Skelly. So a lot of people thought it was harsh.
Yeah.
And I think Arsenal have come out and appealed it now.
I think it's been overturned.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
right.
Away. Well, I was going to say, do you think it gets overturned?
Yeah.
But it obviously has.
Yeah, it got overturned last night.
Do you think it was harsh?
I mean, when you first watch it, it looks mental because it looks like he's just tripped him up 2 yards from the edge of his own box. So it's like, that's obviously not a red. You obviously then slow it down, do screenshots, and you can see his studs catch him. In my opinion, still mental.
Yeah.
And it got overturned within like 3 hours, I think, of appealing it. So clearly the board, who did the independent kind of investigation, also thought it was mental. And we're obviously, because we're Arsenal fans, we're going to get, oh, here we go again, Arsenal fans crying. Again, it's the first red of that kind.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like a tactical foul. It's the first red of that kind. The Declan Rice was the first red of that kind. Trossard, first red of that kind. That's our issue. I think that we're getting the red cards that you then don't see again.
Yeah.
You won't see a tactical foul get given as a red card again.
On the edge of their box.
Yeah,
It's insane.
That's sort of the mental thing. So
like, I was debating will he give him a yellow when he first happened. It's mad.
Yeah.
The players on the pitch like look around and like,
thinking,
has he actually just done that?
Yeah. I was watching it like, good yellow.
Yeah.
Good yellow.
Yeah,
Stop the countdown.
You
literally get taught to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just so baffling when he backed out the red card.
Yeah, it's worrying. It's worrying, I'll be honest, because the speed at which he decided that's a red card,
instant.
You start to think like, I mean,
is there something
Arsenal
we're not knowing about?
Yeah, Arsenal fans.
He obviously caught him, didn't he? Like,
He slowed it down. And it's not the nicest. Like, it's not just the trip. He's caught him, but it's very low, and like we've said, it's for me, it's just a cynical tackle.
Yeah.
Knowing the guy's on the counter, let me take a yellow, bring him down. The player's not ever getting injured from that tackle, in my opinion.
And he's not gone in to hurt him.
No.
Which is what a red card is for.
Yeah, it's for serious foul play.
Yeah.
So if we're going to give that a serious foul play,
What's
then
the game coming to?
The game's coming to a bad place. And my problem with Michael Oliver is the lack of consistency. Like, we
meant to be England's best referee.
And with social media and stuff, you don't really get away with it now because everyone's sort of making compilations and stuff and showing.
I do think some of the scrutiny he's got has been too much, though.
Of course,
because he's like,
he doesn't
at the end of the day,
deserve deference, but he deserves the scrutiny.
No, he deserves to be judged on his performance, like footballers are judged on their performance, but not to the extent of
in the workplace.
He sent off Trossard this season, by the way.
Yeah,
for that at Man City.
Yeah, didn't send off Kovacic last season for
clamping two players.
So there's an Arsenal agenda with Michael Oliver.
You have to start asking the question. Like, look, Arsenal fans are quick to jump on these things, and like when Saliba gave away the penalty last week, people were trying to make a case, and I'm like, let's not be that kind of fan base. That as soon as anything goes against us, we jump on it. However, with Michael Oliver, it's starting to get to a point where you have to. He's given the most red cards to Arsenal out of all referees. He's given the most penalties against Arsenal. So that's the stats. Then you start looking at this individual cases where he hasn't sent off Kovacic for. Kovacic should have got a straight red
for the first one.
He got a yellow and then doesn't get a yellow for clamping Rice 5 minutes later. But then Lewis Skelly gets a straight red for a cynical tackle. Like, it starts to get to a point where it's hard to defend him.
There was a mad stat that has now been verified that he's refereed 50 Man City games, given Man City 0 red cards. He's refereed 55 Arsenal games, given 8 red cards.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
That's a big difference.
I don't think we're that ill-disciplined.
Do you remember his Martinelli red where he's given Martinelli 2 yellows
Double yellow.
in the same
Oh,
attack?
5 seconds after.
Was that him?
That was him.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, there's something going on.
Exactly.
Oh, what the hell?
So when you start bringing them up, it's like, wow, that was all him, and you have to scratch your head and think, what is going on?
Yeah, we are not directly addressing an agenda that they want Liverpool to win the league. We are addressing that we always say unconscious bias. That we know exists, the David Coote incident with Jurgen Klopp. We know it exists that certain referees will not like certain teams / managers. Arteta is very vocal. He moans a lot. We all know that. So then you are going to have an unconscious bias of, I don't like him.
And even as an Arsenal fan, for me, like, everyone's thoughts on Arsenal is built from years ago where we're like the pretty boy team, likes to play nice football, don't like the tackle and stuff like that. So, and we cheat.
Yeah, exactly.
So that all can play into your mind, like, regardless. It's obviously not a conscious decision.
Yeah.
But we're not doing this out of nothing. There's literally evidence.
Yeah, and I think this was the one that took a lot of rival fans to go, do you know what? Jamie O'Hara hates Arsenal. He said it's one of the worst decisions he's ever seen. He's like, there might be an agenda.
I saw Mike Dean and Dermot Gallagher both say it's a yellow card for them. And they always defend refs. Like,
they've never gone against the ref decision.
Like,
ever.
even when Bruno got sent off for that tackle on Maddison this season, they was there saying, nah, for them, they were trying to explain why it's a red. This one, they've all said, nah, that's a yellow. So that tells you how far it was.
Exactly.
If
Dermot Gallagher is agreeing with Arsenal fans, there's something going on.
Is happening. So, wait, it got overturned as in there's no yellow? No, there's no red now?
He's free to play.
Okay, good. Okay,
Which
good
is good for City and Newcastle. Who would
he would have been.
Nice. Well, let's just touch back on Arsenal's lack of firepower up front, and also it's the January transfer window. Like, for me, it's obviously a bit of a worry for Arsenal fans, as we just spoke about with Havertz. Even more of a worry now in January. At the time of recording, I think it's January 29th.
2 days left.
2 days left. We're on the border of signing some 18-year-old European player who's a centre mid.
Yeah.
Listen, I didn't think January was going to be the window where we can go and get our top target forward in an attacking line, because it's tough. But at least get someone who's going to, similar to the but similar to the Sterling signing, like a Rashford on loan, someone like that, just to give the fans a bit of excitement, a bit more firepower up front.
There are 2 big rumours.
Really?
And we won't speak on rumours too much, but Evan Ferguson on loan and Matthias Tell from Bayern Munich on loan. So Evan
Ferguson needs to come out of hibernation. What's he been doing?
He does. Evan Ferguson,
the Brighton,
who last season was going to be sold for 110 million.
Yeah, because he hit like 2 hat-tricks in a row.
So there are rumours that we're doing something. Why was it not done sooner? I know we're going to do this. It's not as easy as that. I understand, but you kind of go into January knowing you're not going to be able to buy Gyökeres.
Yeah,
right?
or an Isak.
Or Isak, yeah, because they're going to cost 100 mil, and the clubs don't want to get rid of him in January. So you know that a loan might have to be done. You can't do it from the Premier League, because we've already got 2 Premier League loans, so you have to go abroad. It's the 29th.
Yeah.
And we can't score many goals at the minute. What are we going to do?
I was expecting like first week of Jan, right, Arsenal were interested here, bid here.
Yeah,
like, But no, there's nothing.
For me, it's disappointing because, like you said, it's not like we've just... Obviously, Jesus got injured in January, so that made it doubly worse. But we was missing Saka already going into January.
We knew this well before January.
And we haven't been firing this season. So you kind of look at it and thought, we have to do something. Jesus got injured very early in January. First week of January, which is FA Cup weekend. Mm-hmm. So then you've got 3 weeks left to know, okay, we have to do something. And now we're right at the end of the window, and it doesn't seem like anything major. Maybe we'll get a loan in or something, but don't know, man. Like we've said, I felt like this is the year where I think Liverpool will drop points. Mm-hmm. If you can get any type of consistency, you're closing on them. But we don't look like we're going to get the consistency needed to close 9 points, and that could be changed with some type of big signing. I mean, you look at, didn't Liverpool sign Van Dijk in January? Mm-hmm.
Did they?
At Southampton. It was a January transfer. It was obviously cost world record fee and stuff for a defender, but they did it. Like,
obviously paid that back massively now.
No one's looking back at that and saying, that was too much.
Yeah.
So like I was torn between like a loan type signing like a Rashford or Evan Ferguson, someone like that who can help, or even just saying, look, let's have a go. And there's half season. Let's just go, and we might spend 20 million more than we wanted to on a player that in the summer could be cheaper. But if that gets us a Premier League come the end of the season, no one's thinking about that.
Exactly. It is disappointing because I guarantee you as well, if Jesus hadn't got injured, we wouldn't have bought anyone.
We probably wouldn't.
No, anyone.
Definitely not.
And the issue with the loan market, again, we've got Sterling, who hasn't done great. I think that's fair to say.
That is extremely fair.
Neto, the keeper, hasn't played. You can't have more than 2 Premier League loans. So I know I just said you have to loan Evan Ferguson. We can't.
Can we not?
Send one of them back.
I didn't even know.
Unless you send one of them back, yes.
Send them both back.
Yeah.
Sterling may as well
See
get sent
boys.
back.
Probably surely you can send the keeper back.
Yeah. But we didn't have a striker. We didn't get a striker that we thought we was going to get in the summer. So surely it's in their mind from then to like looking at these different players.
Yeah.
And the only reason I'd think they wouldn't get one in January is at the start of the season they're thinking, right, we'll wait till next year, which is just criminal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're probably looking at their main targets and thinking summer, but I just think that throws away a season. You go into the next season where, like we spoke about last week, all these teams are going to be back. It's not going to be just Liverpool to catch. Liverpool will still be there. City will be back. Chelsea will be better. Spurs won't be as bad as they've been this season. You'd hope United, after a year of Amorim, will be more competitive. There's no guarantees that if just signing this striker in this next summer will give you a better chance next year. So
yeah, for sure.
I think you got to capitalise on the now really.
But we kept the gap 6 points from Liverpool. Obviously they've still got the game in hand, but the gap 6 points. They beat Ipswich 4-1, was it?
Yeah.
They look good again, unfortunately. Do you I'm starting to get less confident that it's catchable, simply because of what we just spoke about and because of how consistent they're looking.
I think it's more to do with us than them.
I was just about,
because City smacked Ipswich 6-0, didn't they? The week before.
Yes,
but I'm not talking about this individual
I know
game.
Liverpool are looking good.
They are, man.
They are looking
Their
good.
squad's better.
But
you know what we said?
I don't see them going unbeaten. But okay, it's not like they have to go unbeaten, but they drew the week before, and then we drew against. Who did we draw against last week?
Who did we draw against? It wasn't Everton, was it?
Who did we throw away the points to?
Was it Brighton?
Villa? No.
Villa. 2-0 up, and then we drew 2-2.
Yeah.
So up until then, you thought, okay, they've dropped their first set of points. We've closed the gap. If we had just beat Villa and then beat Wolves like we had, we'd be 4 points with they have a game in hand.
Yeah, but we didn't.
So that's what I mean. It's more on us than Liverpool. Liverpool will draw games.
We said before Christmas, a long time before Christmas, Liverpool will drop points, like 100%, and we got so much stick for it. The issue was that we didn't say we would too.
Yeah.
Because
we're just dropping more.
Exactly. Liverpool have got Bournemouth at the weekend.
Yeah.
Very tough game.
Where's that at? Bournemouth? If that's at Bournemouth,
can't remember.
They're ropes.
Just smacked.
They've still got. When we looked at their fixtures, their away fixtures specifically, they've got harder running. So I don't have any doubts that Liverpool
the issue is
will
we've got
draw.
City.
But I mean, City at home.
As soon as they've hit form, we're all of a sudden Arsenal got to play.
They drew last week, man. They're not back.
Like you just, I think you just
they lost
have
in the
to-
Champions League and they drew at the weekend. They're not back. They're not back. If we want to make a statement, you have to beat them.
That's the thing, right? Bournemouth is a very hard game. I can absolutely, if I had to bet now, I'd bet on a draw, right? But anything could happen. Bournemouth beat Liverpool, we beat City. That's 3 points and a game in hand. That changes the whole outlook of our season.
The dynamic, yeah.
However, if they draw and we draw, it's the same again.
Simple maths.
That's
Every
my
week.
point.
Yeah, but City won on the weekend. They beat Chelsea, did they not?
Yeah, sorry, they drew before that.
Cop
Yeah,
up.
they beat
right.
Chelsea. Yeah, they beat Chelsea.
I don't know, man. It's just like
I don't think
isn't
City, I don't think they're
do you not
back.
remember at the start
it's
of
just
the
a big
season-
game because they'll turn up.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's Arsenal. They'll be up for it.
It'll be heated as well.
Yeah.
Red card?
Yeah,
Maybe?
last week.
who's our ref?
Do you remember Gabriel was like, "We'll see you at Emirates and stuff" last
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
So
ball
stay
thrown at
humble.
the
He
back
said
of
it
his
to
head.
Haaland. Yeah.
It's going to be a game.
Is he fit though?
Stay humbly.
Is he fit, Gabriel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but I remember at the start of the season, from like September to October, November, we were saying, "Come Christmas, let's see where we're at."
Yeah.
And with Christmas, I'm not happy.
But I blame us. I don't
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
look at Liverpool and think they've done anything unreal. Like it's just
They've just
every
been
time
steady,
Liverpool
haven't
drop
they?
points, we've also dropped points.
Yeah, but their point, I think we're not too far off our points tally from last year at this point.
That's it.
So
Yeah.
we're not doing I feel like Liverpool are doing better than what people think. They're just not blowing away teams all the time.
Yeah, and they have had a good season of injuries.
Yeah.
Which we all know.
We've
we
had
found out
terrible,
last
man.
season. We had good injuries.
Do you know what our points tally was last year?
No, as Archie just told me as I walked in.
We went
How
on that
far off
mad post Dubai run, didn't we? Where we only lost the game. So I think we are
Oh, we done really well in the second part.
A
last
little bit
season.
behind
We didn't
than
start
we
that
were.
well. Yeah, but then we went on a mad run second half of the season.
Champions League Wednesday.
Yeah,
If we
today.
today, yeah. If we automatic get through top 8, we get a rest week. Go to Dubai.
Which
Yeah.
we probably will.
Go
Ben
to Dubai.
White out of
pretty much.
hibernation.
Mate,
I
Ben
think we're
White,
pretty
the
much-
winter
yeah, Ben
soldier
White will be
leaves
back.
Dubai.
Yeah. Do you think talking about hibernation?
Yep.
City are back out of theirs.
Of course they are.
Do you reckon they're going to do their usual? Come out of Christmas and sort of just go on a 20-game unbeaten run, 7-0 each week?
I don't think they are. I think they'll be better, and I think they may get third. But they just don't. It's still. I know that they beat Chelsea the weekend, which is a great result. It's not the same City.
No, of course.
It's
That
not the
game
same
was end
City.
to end, bro.
Yeah.
Since when have you seen City at home play an end-to-end game?
Exactly. My only issue is we've got them at the weekend.
Yeah.
Everyone else got to play them when they were. Liverpool got the 3
man.
points when they were terrible. We've got to play them now. But
that
it
could
is
work
what it
in our
is.
favour as well if we beat them.
Absolutely.
Because then it's like a double.
Imagine that confidence boost beating
Yeah.
Man City. They will get better second half of the season. I mean, they've got all their charges under investigation. They've just spent 150 mil and 400k a week on each of their 18-year-old players. So
It's insane.
what can you do? Like they're going to get better, but I don't see them.
You
winning
see
the
Arsenal
league.
and Liverpool both above them still.
I do.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Definitely Liverpool.
yeah. Oh, so,
Oh, don't say that.
I wouldn't
So-
put it past us at this rate.
yeah.
I would not put it past us.
That'd be
No,
horrible.
neither would I,
That'd be
man.
Horrible.
It would be bad. It would be very
Be
bad.
terrible. That's a week off after that.
That is.
Right. Bournemouth. We're going to Bournemouth. They beat Forest 5-0. They are like they're on something.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what their players are doing or what they're giving them, what they're eating.
Yeah.
But they're eating something that we're not.
Do you know what it is? Like, the pod you did with Anton Semenyo, to be able to sit there and say, yeah, I'm the best player with both feet in the league. Like, and I'm not saying he's not at all.
Yeah.
But the confidence, and he didn't say it like, oh, I have to say this to make myself like seem better.
No.
I should say something.
He was backing
said
himself.
it like, yeah, I am.
Yeah.
And if there's 3 or 4 other players, 5 players that have got that on the team, that can go so far. We talk about confidence a lot. Look at Havertz compared to Semenyo at the minute.
Yeah.
Like different players. I just think they're so good, and it's the belief, isn't it?
Yeah.
You had Sheffield United did it a few seasons ago when they finished top half. If you get that belief
Yeah.
at halfway through the season, nothing can stop you.
Yeah, and I mean the belief comes from the evidence, really. Like
Absolutely.
they're obviously following Iraola's tactics of just high press, high energy, and it's worked beating these big teams like Arsenal and City. So then they're gonna that's just gonna give you more energy to do it. Innit?
So if they could go and beat Liverpool at the weekend, it'd be great, wouldn't it?
That would be, I can see that happening, by the way. I really can.
Yeah.
If it's, I'm not sure where it's at, but if it's at Bournemouth especially.
But that's an unreal result because Forest have been
Forest have
They've been
quality
good as well.
To get-
Flying.
I was thinking
Mad.
like, that's going to be a great 2-2.
Yeah.
5-0.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, there was a hat trick from who was it from? It wasn't Clivo, it was the other guy.
Was it Evan Nelson?
Yeah, it might have been him. Yeah, or it might not have been. We'll see. But would you prefer, talking on like Bournemouth, would you prefer teams like that to get in the top 4, like Bournemouth, Forest, than your Chelsea's, United's? Like, do you prefer to see that, a little change?
I think so. I think these days
Champions League football for them is amazing.
Absolutely, and as a neutral watching it from that kind of standpoint, I just want to watch quality.
Yeah.
Man United, Tottenham don't have quality at the minute, so I don't want to see them in the Champions League because it would be boring. It would be. Imagine next season if the Premier League get 5 Champions League places, which is kind of the stats are looking like we might. Imagine Bournemouth and Forest versus Madrid and Barcelona. Like, that's exactly what I want to see.
At Bournemouth.
Yeah, exactly. It would be unreal.
That'd be good, man.
Unreal.
Yeah, I'd love to
why
see
not?
that.
Why not?
Yeah. Well, let's go on to, you mentioned Tottenham. Let's just go on to Tottenham, a few of the teams that are struggling. They lost to Leicester 2-1, and they're 15th. Relegation shouts is what I'm hearing. Like, it's actually, them getting relegated, it seems as likely as us winning the league at the moment. Like, it's not actually too far off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you like to see them get relegated as an
Ken,
Arsenal fan?
I don't think we're that unlikely to win the league.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you seen Tottenham? Tottenham and United, they're in the bin.
They have got a nice little like 7 or 8 point buffer from.
They won't.
It's mental to say still.
It won't get relegated because they won't. That form can't continue. They've got enough players in that to at some point just win a couple games and not get relegated. However, Spurs finishing 15th is a complete failure.
That is a relegation, man.
Exactly. By what they should be doing, that's a completely awful season.
If I was to give them a little bit of a safety net, their injuries have been really bad.
Yeah, Solanke's out now as well, isn't he?
Yes, they had like their whole back 5, I think, injured at one point. Like, it's really bad. So they're not going to be 3rd, 4th. 15th though is wild.
Yeah, and Ange looks like he's the difference between United and Tottenham. I'm seeing is I like the way Almiron looks in like he's still very honest and open and still full of life. Maybe because he's there. He's only just come. But Ange just head down and like monotone. Yeah.
My issue
looking to the ground.
My issue with it is, right, and I think it says a lot. Amorim, press conference, says this is the worst United team ever, right? So honest, so raw, so brutal.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
That is mad.
You can't
Ange,
say that, though.
however, said, an interviewer said to him, that's 8 losses in a row or whatever it was. And he went, well, that's a bloody stupid question. No, it's not. It's a question. You know what I mean? I think you have to own it in football. Amorim's owning it. And I think the players can then be like, okay, like he knows where we're at.
Yeah.
We can only move up from here. With Ange doing his like kind of arrogant thing, the players are going to feel that as well.
Yeah.
The thing is, though,
should give them something to hope. Give them something to like cling on to.
Yeah.
A bit of hope.
I know, obviously, we only see the interviews, but you can't take too much from that because
No, of course
that's for the public versus what he tells is private.
That's part of the job, though.
I, as a player, don't want to hear my manager say we are the worst Man United players in history. What message are you sending to your players?
I don't know.
Yeah, but
and he's come out and apologised 2 days later and said he shouldn't have said that. So that means he knows that's not the type.
I wouldn't want to hear that. But
I love it as a neutral fan or as an Arsenal fan, etc. It's bants. It's like it's funny to hear and it's the truth. So we're looking at it and saying that's so real. Like it's true.
Yeah.
But you can't say that about your own players.
No.
You need them at the weekend to go and win a game. It's
I do know
mad.
what you mean.
As a player, though, I wouldn't like that, but I also wouldn't like what Ange's doing.
I know,
I'd like some hard truths, not to say we're the worst team
That's
he's ever
crazy,
managed.
but
to say these things aren't good enough. But the team are doing this well, and we're on the right. We're trying.
I think it's a thing in football where it's seen as a weakness to be like Phil Foden at the minute is saying I was the best Premier League player I was the best player in the Premier League last season. Brother, relax. Who are you trying to?
Is that what he said?
You can say like
talking about the Euros. He said off the back of being the best player in the Prem last season, he went to the Euros. Best player in the Prem in attacking midfield, and he went to the Euros and was played left wing basically.
My issue with it is just say like I'm not playing great at the minute.
Yeah.
But I want to get. Do you know what I mean? Have honesty. Ange could say.
But they get frustrated that everyone's on them, and you're like, you've got short memories.
Yeah.
But football is short memory. Like it's only the last couple games.
People shouldn't have short memories. Is the frustration the players and the manager will have. Like as much as they haven't been good right now. Guys are talking about Foden like he's a bum. It's mad. It's mad.
Because he is. I told you he was overrated.
But the thing is, you get one person say it, then you've got someone who didn't really watch football last year who's jumps on it, and then everyone jumps on it.
So then if you're Foden, naturally you're like, bro, you lot's memories are ridiculous. Like, I know I'm not playing great now, but
he's like an English generational
I would just
talent.
like to say, start of the season, I said he was overrated.
Yeah, we got one of the guys here.
Ball knowledge.
I still think he's underrated. I said it.
So do I, man. I'll back that till I die.
For people to call him a bum, that means he's underrated.
Bum.
So what does that make everyone else who plays football in England?
Better than Phil Foden. Can we just go on Tottenham?
Yeah.
Is Ange in trouble?
Yeah, of course.
Because some Tottenham fans are calling for his head.
I mean, I thought, like I've said to you boys before, I like when they give managers a good few years.
Yeah.
But I've not seen any changes.
Oh, I'm angry about that. Sorry.
I've not seen any changes from him where it's repeat events keep going the same way.
Yeah.
What's that saying? Where like if you keep doing the same thing and expecting the same results,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he's doing that. So I think he is in trouble. End of the season, he will be.
He also said he always wins something in his second season.
Yeah.
Now they
Why
are
would
beating
you say that
Liverpool. They
when
are
you-
beating Liverpool in the cup.
It would be one of the most like generational things though if he actually goes and wins it.
Oh, bro, I'd respect
That's
it so
unreal.
much. Yeah.
For Tottenham, any other club,
And
it's
press
like,
conference, he
whatever.
just
Yeah.
comes out. What
See
did I
ya.
tell you?
Told
What
ya.
did I tell you?
To have that kind of confidence
Terrible
with
accent.
Spurs, who Mourinho couldn't win nothing.
Yeah.
Like all the good managers have had, Conte, etc., couldn't win nothing. He comes and says, second season, I win.
It's
and then
actually a
he wins.
stupid thing to say.
But if
Yeah.
he doesn't win, then it's like,
Yeah,
well,
go on, bro.
He doesn't win and they finish 15th, then it's like, bro, you kind of have to go now, don't you?
And he's
So-
done that elsewhere, not in the Prem. Like everyone knows
Yes.
the Prem's different.
So if let's say they finish 10th or below, and they don't win, is Ange gone?
I would get rid of him
Would you?
if he's 10th. If it's like similar form, they creep up a little, and end of the season, I would.
Okay.
Whether they will, I think it's be 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
What do you reckon?
I personally wouldn't.
Really?
Yeah, I think there is something. If you actually look at their injuries, it's mental. The whole back
Yeah, but
five for
before that,
like
I
a
don't
month.
Yeah.
I know. They
You've
should
never
be
been a
doing
real
better.
fan of Ange, have you?
I just
Just 'cause
see
of his way of
I
playing,
see some
you said.
obvious mistakes every single week. Like
Yeah.
even from last year, and it's like, what are you doing to
They'll be
change
2-0
this?
up and counter attacking with 8 players.
And
it's
then
like,
you're
why?
like not high pressing, but your line's on the halfway line, your
Yeah.
defensive line.
Yeah.
What are you expecting there?
Yeah, I know. what you
I
mean.
hear it.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
I think it's tough because 10th and below is a range, and if you finish 11th, it's not as bad as 15th. Like there's still
Yeah.
levels to it. If you finish 15th, I think he's got to go because you can't be
Yeah.
finishing that.
I mean,
low.
that's fair. That is fair.
I think if he just about gets bang on mid-table with a good few cup runs,
Performance dependent
I
as well.
think performance dependent with the injuries, you could give him time because
Yeah.
Tottenham, how many managers are they going to go through at this point as well before?
Yeah, it's like what are their ambitions and are they realistic?
You know what we'll get as Arsenal fans though? If they finish 14th and win the League Cup,
Is that what
We
they're
had
in?
a better
They're not in the
season
FA
than
Cup,
you.
are they?
They are. They
Oh,
beat
they-
Tottenham. They beat
FA
Tottenham,
and
yeah.
just beat Tamworth.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, first round FA Cup, but then in the semi-final, 1-0 up against Liverpool.
Oh right, yeah.